Okay, everybody, I think it's time for me to kind of go over or have a platform for me to kind of explain the programs that I offer. I've made a few over the years. Um, I've got a total of 27 at the moment running. So, yeah, this is just going to be a video that kind of gives someone who's new or someone who's continuing a little bit more of a browse, a little bit more info on those programs. I'm not going to go very much into too much depth of the programs on here, but if you do see something that kind of fancies yourself, directly message me and I'll be able to kind of talk with you more about it specifically. The first four programs are going over are the four that I'm currently still building, and all have recently used for like challenges, for example. So there's four of them. So this first program here is New Year's resolutions, and pretty much this program was the challenge program that I used to start the year. The main thing you'll notice with all of my programs is that generally the program changes weekly or bi-weekly. So by that I mean that each individual workout progressively changes and is altered either each week or every second week. There might only be one or two of the 27 programs. It might be monthly. So a New Year's resolution worked on three phases. Each phase went 2 weeks, and within those phases, each week was slightly modified as well. So the workout split was starting off with 6 days, went in the next phase to 5 days, and finished in the last phase at 6 days, but with cardio. This program was a little bit more of an all-rounder. I've noticed in some of the workouts I've put, high reps, but also working low reps as well. So this was for kind of the general gym goer to kind of get their 2020 started and just get a bit of conditioning and strength. The bread and butters kind of touch on them in a variety of different types of training systems that you probably haven't done or not very familiar with. The next program is going to be pretty important in my life soon. A post-pregnancy program, which is early in construction, so that's quite early. So that isn't really relevant at the moment. The starting strength program is a 3-phase program of someone looking to make entry levels into strength training. This one is phase 2, I believe. So I've done 3 strength programs that kind of progressively improve someone so that by the end of the 3rd program, they're kind of ready for a more intermediate or advanced strength training program. This phase 2 program generally works full body exercises and progressively improves strength so that you're getting used to working in the low rep range. The Road to Sparta is probably my biggest new challenge coming out soon. It's getting there. I've had to film a lot of new exercises for it. It is for someone who's looking to kind of tackle an obstacle course such as Tough Mudder or the Spartan. I've designed this program basically as like a preparation program so that by the end of this program you're entering the event, conditioned for that. And a lot of the workouts and a lot of the training and exercises are all tailored towards the course. What I like about it so far is I've got a test week. So when you kind of work through the phases and work through your training, you get to like a test day. Test day for me is pretty interesting because you do like a time trial workout where you're setting a time, and in the future you'll try and beat that time. This workout is for females or males with the weights assigned for either gender. I've also posted that on my Facebook fitness page as well. So yeah, I call this one at the moment the Road to Sparta. Some of these ones I may change the name going forward, and if you have any suggestions, I welcome them, but that's the name for the obstacle course program. One of my bread and butter training programs that has been very, very popular is 4-Minute Muscle. 4-Minute Muscle is a very simple format where one person is doing a workout and they have 4 minutes to do as many reps as they can. So basically, if you get 36 reps you pass, in the 4 minutes. And if you get 46 reps, you've clocked it, which means if you get 46 next time, you go up in weight. If you get between 36 and 46, you stay the same weight. If you get under 36, you go down in weight next time. So very, very popular program. This one is 5 days a week where I've done a 4-week block of this training. So yeah, this program goes for 4 weeks. Huge program, one of the challenge programs, Armageddon, comes around post-footy season every year. It's a 6-week training program, obviously a high emphasis on incorporating arm training. It includes the whole body, so you're getting your fix of everything. What I like about it is I've put arms gradually assigned to the splits more each 2 weeks. So for example, in the each week. So in the first week, you're doing arms once. In the second week, you're doing them twice. In the third week, you're doing them 3 times. In the fourth week, they're assigned to 4 workouts. And you do that again in the fifth, and then it kind of got a bit of a deload in the 6th week. So yeah, extremely popular training plan, actually, Armageddon. It's been one of my top challenges. This one is ascending drop sets, which goes for 4 weeks. So in ascending drop sets, we'll go click on the workout. So you're basically doing, this was part of the New Year resolutions challenge. You're basically doing 20 reps on light weight. You have a break, you go to the 10 reps on a heavier weight, and then on your third set, you're doing 5 reps on an even heavier weight, but you're doing a double drop set, returning on the same weights that you were doing on the previous rep ranges. So that's quite simple, but effective type of training that you're kind of getting a broad scope of muscle fiber activation there. And yeah, quite a good all-rounder. That one's a 6-day split, and that goes for 4 weeks. Drop set countdown is the next one. So that's another 4-week challenge. This one is 5 days a week. And for example, so you're doing 1 exercise, 1 set. So you're doing 10 reps, and then that's followed by an immediate drop set down to 9, all the way down to 1. So you're pretty much doing a massive drop set, continuation of 9 drops before you complete the exercise. So quite a lot of plate changing, but something that changes it up. Drop set countdown is 4 weeks. DDP, so this is one that I found years ago in 2010 that I really, really liked. I've put cardio in there as well, 4 days a week. I've known this one for quite a long time. When I first started as a personal trainer, this is one of my favorite alternate programs to kind of use. 4 weeks, 4 sessions of weights, 2 of cardio, and you're doing a lot of superset training and ridiculous high rep training. So, you've got a 50 rep leg press there, supersetted with a 40 kilo seated calf raise. In the chest workout, you're doing like very heavy 5 reps, working up to 10, 20, 30. So, and then you're in a superset chest and back. So quite popular, 4 weeks. Take a look. I definitely recommend that. I've got my 2 footy programs, Fit for Footy and Fit for 42. And in these programs, I generally have 3 days a week, and I've just got a bit of, I think variety is important, and just manipulate a lot of the training volume as well. I know you've got to kind of manage the body during the footy season. So my goal is to kind of manipulate the volume with different styles of training, so that just before you're kind of overloading yourself and lifting quite heavy on a specific task, the type of training changes, and therefore you kind of change and manage your loads to a different style of system. That way you're kind of getting a good kind of stimulus of the muscle without kind of overloading your body, because you are trying to recover. There is an element of strength training in it, a very, very basic strength training, but it is important to kind of maintain your strength for football. Strength's kind of important. So basically it does change it does vary on the Fit for Footy programs. It changes. Some is every 2 weeks, some is every 4 weeks. I think we did a bit of superset training in phase 2, I think. So have a look here. yeah. So for example, when you hit phase 2, which would be week 5, there'd be some supersets incorporated with some different exercises to change it up. Fit for 42 is just simply providing more variation from the previous Fit for Footy. So obviously the footy season goes quite a while, and each footy program I've got is 8 weeks individually. So one would either move on to a new style of training in Fit for Footy, or they could repeat the previous one if they liked it so much and were seeing results. Mad Max. So Mad Max is a 5-day split, and in Mad Max, you're basically doing for example, it varies, but for the week, let's just say week 1, you're doing 15 reps. Sorry, I said that wrong. We're doing 50 reps, and you're doing as many as you can. So basically, you do as many reps as you can. And for example, say you got 20, you have a 15 mandatory second break, and you must resume the set once your 15 seconds has elapsed. So it kind of stockpiles when you have to start after 15 seconds and you start to fatigue. So you keep doing this until you get 50 reps. So lift as many as you can, 15-second break. Lift as many as you can, 15-second break. Lift as many as you can until you get 50 reps. There's a bit of periodization in it. So I think, by week 3, you are doing the same concept, but the rest time, 5 seconds, and the reps change. So you're doing, for example, 10 reps with a 5-second break in between. It might be very, very, very heavy. And you get you might get 2 reps and you got a 5-second break. 1 rep, 5-second break. 1 rep, 5-second break, for example. So that's how it kind of manipulates it there. That's 6 weeks. Muscle fitness. So this one's a good one. It's 4 days a week. So someone looking to train 4 times a week. Muscle fitness. It's kind of like it's probably a more conditioned version of my muscle mass program. So it's probably working, with supersets at stages, higher reps sometimes, drop sets. There's a little bit more variance in it, a little bit more abdominals than my muscle mass program, which is probably my most standard basic hypertrophy building program. So muscle fitness, a little bit more conditioning. You'll find yourself doing pull-ups and dips more often, supersets. It's a really, really handy 4-day-a-weeker that has abs incorporated into it as well, built into the 4-day structure. So that goes for 8 weeks. Muscle Mania is still is my biggest kind of strength hypertrophy program. Like if someone was totally committed to 6 days a week of gym and needed the biggest, hit I could give them of training, this is the big one, Muscle Mania. This is 6 days a week. I've been doing this program for, we built it 5 or 6 years ago. And it's tough, man. It's tough, but it's fantastic. You've got this blend of strength training at the start of the week for 3 sessions. And then as you move through the week, you move into hypertrophy. So the training basically completely changes. Its variance is weekly as well. So there's modifications there. For example, supersets come in just 1 week later. There's drop sets, there's rest pauses. It goes for 14 weeks, and I'll tell you what, week around 11 to 13 is just absolutely brutal. Muscle mass, probably as I mentioned before, is my standard go-to 4-day split hypertrophy training program. 12 weeks of training, 4-day split, as I said. You pretty much work in a format where you're doing reps at 12 reps 1 week. Week 2, you're doing 10 reps. Week 3, you're doing 8 reps. Week 4, you're doing 5 reps. I then move to phase 2. Exercises change up a bit, some of them, most of them, and then you're doing the 12, 10, 8, 5 format again, and you repeat that one more time in weeks 9 to 12. So real handy program there, 12 weeks. Power Pyramid, a 4-week program. So with the 4-weeker, it's a 4-day split. And it's just kind of, this one's just incorporating some power movements and some tempo training. big sets of 6, and you're working in a variety of different rep ranges. So you're just getting, as I said, you're manipulating the tempo and the and power. Yeah, so yeah, just a bit of variance in that regard. Simply Shredded is one of my older programs. Used to be part of the Summer Shred Challenge and is now a standalone fat burning program. That's a 6 day a week split, and it maximizes off superset training. So you're pretty much doing a lot of superset training for the majority of the program, and the reps. They vary quite frequently. So that one's 8 weeks. Slimmer, Leaner, Stronger was more of a female fat burning program that incorporated exercises more applicable to a female. It also is a basic entry level strength focus program as well for females. So getting into lifting a little bit heavier. You can see starting off 4 sets of 6 squats, and also including a lot of ab work and circuit training at some different particular workouts. So yeah, that's 8 weeks, and that's 4 days a week. So I went over earlier the starting strength. So this is the phase 1, which is the entry level of someone looking to get into strength training. This is teaching someone very, very raw how to kind of learn the exercises and get used to progressively working heavier weight and lower reps. So it's a 3-phase program, and I've got phase 1, 2, and 3 created. Starting weights is probably someone looking more generally to get into weights, and not specifically strength training. And it is 3 days a week. I think it progresses to 4. Yeah, and at week 7 it goes to 4. It starts with a full body focus and then moves to lower body, double lower bodies with a push pull. So push pull double lower, and that's for 12 weeks. So I find myself kind of progressing through not only the splits advancing, but the working different rep ranges. So you do kind of incorporate more strength, but also working supersetting, drop setting. Quite a different, like an all-round experience of the basic fundamentals of weight training. So starting weights is a pretty good one for someone looking to start weights, get back into weights, and then you have at least some intensity building throughout the program so that it does get tougher. My Summer Shred program, so one of probably my most popular challenge. The Summer Shred program I try to kind of modify or update each year. This is 6 weeks. It's 4 days a week to start, and then advances to 5 days a week throughout the last 4 weeks of the program. And this is just using, it's using a combination of a lot of other programs that I've shown so far and to come. So, for example, drop set countdown, ascending drop sets, 4-minute muscle, Mad Max. It's sampling other programs and kind of blending them into one big one over 6 weeks. So Summer Shred, really popular program, and it's just you just shake things up in this one. You're doing a lot of tough stuff over 6 weeks. Super Strength. So this is probably like muscle mass, but strength version, and so more specifically working the area of strength. It is 5 days as well, so you could technically say it's a bit more advanced than the muscle mass program. It's probably bordering on intermediate level of strength training. You're just doing a lot more kind of 5 rep range more often, and it progressively changes each week, similar to how muscle mass was. So you might go, for example, 10, 8, 5, 3 over 4 weeks, whereas muscle mass was 12, 10, 8, 5. So you're working a lower range. The latest big one that I'm starting to see some really good feedback with is the big 3. So I didn't have a more advanced strength program. I do have that now. And I'm doing this program currently, and I have videos on YouTube of me kind of giving updates on this program. I'm really enjoying kind of, stepping up strength training more this year in 2020 with a kind of, for myself personally, I've had a break from footy, and with coronavirus, it turns out that footy's been cancelled anyway. So I've had more time to kind of focus on new stuff, and I'm looking at, building, and I have built a strength program. And from this, I'm going to probably build an even more advanced one after this one as well. But if you're looking to kind of work on your lifts, your big three, your squat, your deadlift, and your bench press, I now have that system fully in place for that. What I love about this one is it's just getting my mind working as training for it, and a different system that is very, very different to the hypertrophy. I've now, this is a complete transition away from hypertrophy now. This is strength training. So, more so an intermediate to advanced program, probably bordering on advanced. So you test week to start, first session, you do 5 sets, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're basically finding out what your 1 rep max is. I also have here, if you can see on the mouse, a link to my video demonstrating this workout. It's a 5-day split, but you find yourself squatting pretty much 3 times a week. And what I like about this program is we're working on percentages now. So, for example, you have your 1 rep max, just say to make it easy, it was 100 kilos. You've got 77.5% of a 1 rep max. And as you can see there, that would be 77.5 to make it easy. And you're working different percentages. When you get a few weeks in, you get these different options. So this one here on deadlift, bench, and upper body day, you get on the last set to go to failure. And what you're getting here is the opportunity to increase your next attempt at a 1 rep max when that comes up at a future date. So what I'm trying to say is on your deadlift, you got 3 sets of 4 on the last set, you do as many as you can. Just say you got 8 reps on the last set, you went for it, you got 8, then you're going to get to increase your 1 rep max by 3%. That would mean that when you attempt your next 1 rep max, you would have that added 3% already written down, and you would attempt that. And you get several different opportunities, many opportunities to kind of increase your percentages quite often. It also changes your, when you're increasing these percentages, you're 70% now of that 1 rep max is 70% of that new 1 rep max. So the program, I'm loving it because you're getting all these. I love working with numbers, but you're feeling stronger, and before you know it, you're like, shit, I'm doing a lot more numbers than what I was previously doing. So really good program. That goes for 13 weeks, and that's kind of now elevating into that Muscle Mania kind of difficulty area. Probably not quite as tough as Muscle Mania, but way, way heavier. So it's pushing the body in a different way. Total Body Strong is a full body workout system, potentially for someone who's coming out of, they've already done starting weights, and they're looking for a progression of the full body, but they want to stay to a 3-day-a-week program. So this program is a bit more advanced, as in the training volume's tougher. 4 sets of 15, for example, is bloody brutal to start the program. If you're doing decent weight on your numbers that you've already established on some of these exercises, that's a tough full body workout. So they change, and that goes over an 8-week period. I have a very old program. This is bringing back memories. This was a challenge program probably 3 years ago, War Games. War Games is just more so an all-round kind of program. That's 6 days a week, and it's just a bit of fun. It just has a lot of different kind of training regiments within it, working different rep ranges, different sets, and this one goes for 6 weeks. So it's more so for someone who's doing 6 weeks of training, looking for something that isn't ridiculous, but they can fall into a groove and kind of for 6 weeks punch out 6 solid sessions. The main thing with this one is that you're working a lot of the compound movements first. So the first 3 days, chest tries, shoulders, legs, back traps, buys. So in those first 3 workouts, you're doing compound movements, and then in the next 3 workouts, you're doing isolation movements. So that's probably its niche there, where you're doing compound over 3, isolation over 3. The last program we've made it, guys, is Winter Shred. Huge program during winter, and yeah, this one's to help people kind of get fit during winter. Um, was very successful last year. Goes for 6 weeks. Again, it's using some training systems that people are less likely to do by themselves and less likely to experience before. So that's pretty much all the programs, everyone. If you're interested in any of the programs, you can just message me. I can give you more information on them specifically. But hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of where you want to go in the future. And also, if you've got any requests, I'm happy to kind of take on requests to build new programs as well. I mean, I'm at 20, I'm looking at 27 by the halfway mark of this year. So, yeah, hope that helps.